All right, greetings, people. Welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected. I don't know what YouTube is being awful weird. Excuse me. YouTube is being very weird at the moment, but I don't know. Are you guys seeing me on YouTube? I don't know. YouTube is being strange. Everybody here? Okay. Rockin' people are here. That's good. Good to see y'all. William in Denver, at least, and some other people, some other folks. Let's see. Terrestrial life oasis from end Permian mass extinction period discovered in China by China. What? What? I suppose that's what everybody wants to find is the oasis in the eventual collapse. Do people really got to call me right when my show's happening? Of course. Not people. Spam and eggs. Are y'all here on YouTube? YouTube is being funny. Can somebody give me a chat or something and let me know if you're here? It's like toggling between 0 viewers and then, they're saying 8 now, but I know there's way more people here. They're constantly lying to me about how many people are watching. I know that sounds like super paranoid and super strange. Okay. Well, all right. Or I don't know. Is everybody just I can never tell. This is just weird times. I'm not sure. It's hard for me. I just cannot take personally what's happening in any of the social media venues. Now it's got 0 watchers. So YouTube is funny. They just really want to make it seem like nobody's here. Yeah, everybody's here. Everybody's here and everybody's watching. There's like way more people here than they're telling you are here. So, but YouTube, that's the game. YouTube wants to make it seem like nobody's watching my show. And they do a good job of that. It's quite effective. But plenty of people are watching the show. So thank you guys for being here, even though you're not being counted or acknowledged by the numbers keepers. But it's all good. Yeah. Well, that's interesting though about the terrestrial oasis, life oasis. Unfortunately, though, the kind of extinction, the level of extinction that we're bringing on ourselves is probably even worse than this. So now it's telling me there's 1 person watching. They just can't make up their mind. Is it 0? Is it 9? Is it 30? Which one is it, YouTube? I'm not sure. Well, yeah, 8. That's what they're telling me. It's 8, but I know it's even more than that. Anyways, it's whatever. Def more than 0. And then the other link you dropped, Denver, was about the phytoplankton decline. Yeah. Eukaryotic. I think that's how you say it. Phytoplankton decline due to ocean acidification could significantly impact global carbon cycle. Yeah. Well, and then we've talked about just the fact that the ocean doesn't smell like the ocean anymore. We went to the ocean the other day, did a little exploring. And in the section we were in, it actually smelled like the ocean. I live next fairly close to the ocean, I cannot smell the ocean here, and you can't really, even if you drive right up on the uh, next to the beach, you can't really smell it. And that means that something is very, very wrong. Because when I was a kid, when you got anywhere close to within a mile of the ocean, you would get a strong whiff of kelp or whatever, the ocean smell, which is you know fish and barnacles and kelp and everything all mixed up together. You would get a strong whiff of that. You don't smell that anymore, and the reason why you don't smell that anymore is because um, phytoplankton are gone, going and or gone, um, and just the web of life is being destroyed. So there's another data point for the people that are like, "Well, there's no global warming, nothing's wrong." Okay, if you say so. Thanks, Timothy Martin. Yeah, I know you're here. I know you're usually here. They'll be closing the whole California coast to salmon, third year in a row. True, salt lickers. You have to get past the ocean smell has been replaced by urine smell. Nice. Um, oh, by the way, I was on a podcast with a friend of mine. I'll drop a link for you if you guys want to listen to it. It's on Spotify and YouTube. I'm dropping the Spotify link. Poet friend of mine does a podcast. It's pretty cool. It's a conversation. That's all. If you guys want to check this out, this is me and a friend of mine, Mark. He's pretty damn good poet if you want to check out some of his poetry, spoken word style. Written and spoken, but he's a spoken word artist. Oh yeah, and I did see that other link too about the article being schizo. About ocean heat. Well, the headline itself: extreme ocean heat does not mean climate change is accelerating. Which makes you wonder, these crazy climate scientists who are out there just pushing the climate agenda so hard. They're just trying to, writing articles that say like, well, extreme ocean heat does not mean the climate change is accelerating. So which one is it? Are they downplaying? Are they overly skeptical while also pushing the climate agenda? Which one is it? I had a laugh yesterday. I had a good chuckle. One of my favorite podcasts that I listen to, but also prone to do funny things like play the Greenpeace guy surprising Brian Stelter on CNN with the claim that climate change is a big hooey scam. I was like, all right, so yeah, he just got on CNN and just surprised everybody. Okay, are you sure about that one? Somehow that's a gotcha moment there. No. No, the way to see that is that they knew this guy was coming on, absolutely knew what he was going to say, acted just a little bit like, oh my God, how could you be saying such things? But the point of it is to get the skepticism out there, because they don't really they want a certain level of skepticism, now a lot of skepticism, which is helpful for them. Because last time I checked, big oil and big pharma are one and the same. They feed each other, or at least oil feeds pharma. Can't have big pharma without big oil. Last time I checked, big oil and big pharma, big ag, big everything. Kind of the same thing, but somehow in some people's minds, we need that clean, cheap oil. Tony Heller. We need that cheap, clean energy. They're just trying to stigmatize that. Oh, what? What are you talking about, man? God dang, get a grip. Would you please get a grip on your whole ass? Anyways, it's just the confusion. It's kind of like, Republicans are better than Democrats or Democrats are better than Republicans. It's like, what? Get a grip on your whole ass. Please. But we know that the ocean heat is accelerating, and we know that the temperature of the planet is accelerating. We know that, we see that, we feel that, we see the effects of that. It is becoming, kind of disturbingly obvious every single day. And it takes a lot of not looking to keep conjuring up these ideas. But whatever. We're not here to argue that down today. So we're here to do some looking at some other news. But we might as well look at this article here while we're here. Just real quick. An extraordinary jump in ocean temperatures in 2023 and 24 was at the extreme end of expectations from global warming and would have been practically impossible without climate change, new research said Wednesday. The planet has been steadily warming for decades as emissions rise, but the stunning leap in ocean temperatures was so far above the long-term trend, the scientists debated if climate forecasts were still accurate. What? Warmer seas cause marine heat waves that influence monsoons, intensify tropical cyclones, cause coral bleaching, and mass extinctions of ocean life. Between March 2023 and April 2024, global sea surface temperatures were 0.25 degrees Celsius above the previous record, a substantially large margin in climate terms. Such an event was very rare. We estimate that occurs around every 500 years with the current warming trend. While not entirely unexpected without the influence of human-driven climate change, such an event would have been practically impossible. Keep on going. Scientists never believe that warming will be linear, but that it will accelerate as long as emissions increase. That's why these forecasts are so silly. But why why that headline? I don't really get it. Oh, sorry, you guys aren't seeing that. Shoot. The headline is silliness. That's true. Creative experiments. Libertarians are a joke who wait for Elon Musk to save them. Yeah. Yep. Pretty much. Or Thomas Massey, maybe. Some libertarian hero out there is going to save him. God, I hope they do it quick. The Gulf of Mexico feels like a hot tub. Sure. I mean, that's definitely happening. This is also definitely happening too, which is concerning. But kind of par. From Champagne Joshi, I shit you not, a new 4-lane highway is being built that cuts through tens of thousands of acres of protected Amazon rainforest for what? The COP30 climate summit in the Brazilian city of Belém. Yep. Uh, I mean, aren't they building a new landing strip too for the private jets? I'm sure that's coming in. The 4-lane highway actually leads to the new landing strip that they're building for the private jets. That's kind of wild. Here's the headline: Amazon forest felled to build road for climate summit. That is a pretty good one. That is pretty funny. And somebody actually wrote that and put that. Somebody wrote that headline for the BBC and then published it. That is comedy jokes right there. That's good stuff. They put the jump at a very low level. Okay. The jump is much higher than they say. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Well, when it comes to these articles about, new studies and whatever, it's like they get the most conservative sounding science. Well, we were not totally sure yet if this is due to climate change. We think that climate change might be involved. Let me see. We're going to have to run another 3 or 4 year study on that. I think that have you seen a bunch of Sabine's new videos talking about she's kind of trying to take the hot air out of the balloon of the scientific particle physicist community. So, she's basically saying a lot of these, studies or the funding for these studies is unnecessary. And this is a whole grift, the whole like academic, some of the things that these people are involved in funding and studying is just a grift. And for sure, a lot of climate change studies and or what people are doing around it is kind of a grift. It is. It's part of climate change TM. You just publish these studies, you go out, you give little sound bites, and you talk about, oh yeah, it's really bad, man. It's getting pretty bad. But we're totally not sure yet if this is totally due to climate change. We're going to need some more studies, and we can expect to see 2C warming by 2100, like stuff like that, right? It's like the grift is to make it sound just bad enough to kind of get people a little nervous about it, but like not too bad so that people won't absolutely lose their minds. It's just, bad enough for people to go out and like, well, maybe I should change my light bulbs. I don't know. I think I just need to, switch to paper straws. Maybe I should bring my own bag when I go, just stuff like that, right? That's just the level of concern they want people at. I've been thinking about getting one of those new electric cars. That's it. That's all they want. They don't want people, freaking out and wholesale leaving, opting out of the system, which is what, people should be doing. wholesale freaking out and, completely giving up the system as we know it for something totally different. Which is kind of what a real reaction to climate change would require. Anyways. The Amazon road is only 8 miles long. Well, that's good. That's good. This is a weird story. And I kind of just saw this in passing. So do you know, okay, so the Maui police chief We're jumping off climate change for a second, but the Maui police chief, who, by the way, happened to be the police chief during the Las Vegas shooting, the big one, right? And a lot of people were like, why was this guy? This guy was the police chief in Vegas during this shooting, and then he ends up in Maui during that huge fire. And people had questions about it. People were like, sure, you could just say this is coincidental. But some people thought maybe it wasn't coincidental. And it took a really weird turn today when he was named as a co-conspirator in the Diddy case. Hey, what? Hey, what? Say what now? Maui Police Chief John Pelletier's goon squad put me in a headlock for asking about missing children after the Maui fires, and people did have questions about that. Sounds like I need to reopen this investigation, and FBI should join me. Do you think they will? Come on now, Nick Sorter. You think the FBI is going to jump right on that? All right, dude. I mean, I suppose it's so yeah, this is a weird story. Maui Police Chief John Pelletier, who gave the order to trap victims in the Lahaina fire, that's a true story, has now been named as a co-conspirator in the Diddy case. I mean, you could say, well, we just didn't, a lot was happening. We just didn't know what was going on. But through their own negligence, a lot of people ended up dying that didn't need to die. Pelletier also happened to be the incident commander during the Las Vegas shooting. Pelletier forcibly took a Diddy victim at gunpoint from Vegas to California to be what by Diddy by posing as a sheriff executing a fake warrant, according to the suit. Even after these incidents occurred, Pelletier was still named chief of Maui Police, and the devastating fires happened shortly after. Wow, it's like these people are almost rewarded by screwing up, by breaking the law. Absolutely, Denver. He's took them to Diddy. Holy shnikes, that's weird. Many questions have loomed as to whether or not children went missing after the fires, where entire families disappeared without a trace. The government disputes the claims, and they have not been verified. The story goes much deeper than what we already know. That is weird, man. The mayor of Maui has now called for the police chief to be put on leave. If he lost the mayor's support, who has been lockstep with him since the fires, this is really bad. So those concerns, the antenna, the feelers, the things that people were feeling like, why was this guy in both places? How did he just happen to be, the guy in charge during both of these incidents? The people that had those questions, it looked like their instincts were correct. Something is wrong with this dude. Something is very wrong with this dude. That's weird, man. Maui police chief named in Diddy Combs related lawsuit. Read a little bit about this. Maui's police chief, a famous football player and a comedian. Really? I don't know why that made me laugh, but that's he's a, he's a comedian. This guy are among the high-profile men accused in a civil lawsuit of participating in or facilitating crimes alongside Sean Diddy Combs. Man, the chief and others say it's all false. But the Maui mayor has called for the chief to be put on administrative leave. Combs is in custody awaiting federal criminal trial. Now, a civil lawsuit filed in federal court in California alleges current Maui Police Chief John Pelletier served as security and facilitator for Combs, sometimes impersonating law enforcement from other jurisdictions. Ooh, somebody is in trouble. So Given the gravity of the allegations, I recommend that Maui Police Commission place Chief Pelletier on administrative leave. Sir, you are getting your walking papers. You screwed this one up. Additionally, I urge the commission to conduct its own independent review rather than waiting for the resolution of the federal case. This dude is going down. And man, that's rough. But what a piece of garbage this guy is. Like, for real. And it actually lends a lot of credibility to the people who were skeptical about what actually happened in these two incidents. It had, if there was a reason why this guy was in place, it actually, validates a stronger look. If this guy was in place and this guy's doing what he's doing and involved with the people he's involved with, it merits more questioning of these two incidents, I would think. Anyways. All right. Well. All right. I gotta really try and pick it up here. Hundreds of minorities, including Christians, killed in Syria. We've been talking about this story a little bit, not too much, but I did talk about this the other day. Oh, they're saying that. So in this, I'm going to actually skip over this pretty quickly. More than 1,000 people, but I read a report the other day that said it was more like 4,000 people. 1,000 people, including Christian minorities and Alawites, the sect to which Assad belongs, have been killed, according to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights and local reports. The death toll from clashes that began late this week between security forces and al-Assad loyalists, as well as subsequent revenge killings, has climbed to more than 1,000. All right. Yeah, and we're all U.S. funded. This is some U.S. funded shenanigans here. U.S. funded and supported. Not just Trump, but Biden too. In fact, Biden was like, yeah, they're good guys. These are, yeah, this is great. And Trump is like, mum's a word on this. Tesla stock has been tanking, and the Tesla brand has really taken a hit. So I wanted to talk about the unintended consequences of this kind of, this is what happens when the people in charge try to pull things on people and try to get things over on people and try to move in ways that benefit them while trying to tell everybody that it's actually for their benefit. Um, what I like to call unintended consequences, right? Like, what happened during COVID, they tried to creep out a bunch of stuff during COVID. Um, they tried to push some things on people, push forward some agendas and push things, push people in ways that they didn't want to be pushed. And what happened was, and it's still whole story is still unfolding. It's going to be unfolding. There's years of it to unfold. The consequences from um, the treatments that were forced on people are going to, this is going to be a long-term situation. But what happened with COVID is that you created a whole new group of people who don't take anything you say seriously, who might have more questions for the people in charge than before, right? And you create, and now, so what Trump and Elon are doing with pretty much everything is, everybody's like, I don't, you know, there are still supporters out there. There's still the MAGA crowd. There's still a lot of journalists that are like, this is everything he's doing is great, but not so much, the rank and file, the regular people, the proles who might or might not have voted for Trump are kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I support this, you know? I don't know if I can support this. And Elon is creating a lot of enemies. His brand is tarnished. His business is tarnished. His stock prices are plummeting. People are vandalizing and uh, striking out in anger at Tesla cars and Cybertrucks and striking out in anger at this. I mean, it's silly. This is just stupid on a lot of levels. Trump says he will label violence against Tesla dealerships as domestic terrorism. Okay. I mean, I suppose you could say it's vandalism. I don't know about domestic terrorism. That seems a little bit far. I mean, so everything is going to be domestic terror, right? Like anything that they want to, any crime could be a blanket domestic terrorism. Saying Elon sucks on Facebook could be, what was that? Some domestic terrorism I saw there? It's ridiculous. It's freaking stupid. He goes on to say, and let me tell you, Trump says, and let me tell you. No, he doesn't sound like that. That was Biden. You do it to Tesla and you do it to any company, we're going to catch you and you're going to go through hell. Okay. He's posing with Tesla cars and Elon Musk at the White House. Oh, I wanted to actually save this. Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. I got too much going on. He's propping up the Tesla brand. In response to the utter, there's blowback. People are not liking what's happening. They don't, they're pissed. They're seeing through the facade, right? I think in the beginning, people were like, oh, yeah, they're going to go after all these bad spenders and big crooks and Democrats and communists, stuff like that, right? And there's still some of those people, but I think a lot of people are seeing through this and seeing, and the ire that it has generated. I think I don't know if they were really counting on that. Maybe they were. Donald Trump doing a Tesla infomercial for Elon Musk, his biggest political donor, in front of the White House, his peak corruption. Come on, we like these cars.
And so all these cars won incredible awards. So they're great cars and they're American made. And I think
these are great cars.
He could have said, I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to get involved. Let the country.
Anyways, people are, they're kind of following in the steps of the Democrats in that, everything that they do just makes them look worse. They just keep on making these steps and things get worse. The crypto reserve that Trump was announcing. So people were seeing too that Trump was making all these moves and the stock market was going, up or down in wild swings.